Hello again, everybody. Today, if it's all right, I'd like to talk to you about some of the terrible language I see on websites these days. And no, I'm not talking about swearing, I'm talking about jargon. And if you use jargon on your website, you should be just as ashamed as if you used swear words. That said, on my website, I use both, so that probably doesn't reflect very well on me. So, anyway, many of the websites that I work with are packed with jargon, which can prove a much bigger issue for your site visitors than you might think. You see, the typical excuse I hear when I call out jargon is that your target audience will already know the term. And although this can be true, it's not true as much as you think. Often, jargon that you may consider to be industry standard isn't in actual fact, but is only understood by a specific subset within your industry. For example, I still ask about user experience terminology even after 27 years of working in the industry. I don't know it all. However, even if you are correct and your audience should and does know these terms, there are 4 scenarios where somebody may still struggle with what is industry standard jargon. First, there will be some people who are new to the sector, and learning all the related jargon for a specific sector does take considerable time. Second, there'll be secondary audiences, stakeholders, managers, finance people, people who are essential to the decision-making process but won't necessarily know the associated jargon. Then there'll be some people who don't speak English as their first language, and jargon can prove a massive stumbling block for people like them. And then finally, there will be some people with cognitive disabilities like dyslexia, and they can find less familiar terms an obstacle that really slows them down. As I write these words, I can hear you collectively nodding along enthusiastically, especially if you work in the field of user experience. You've probably been lecturing about this just like I have for many years. However, before we all get too smug, let's remember that we're just as bad. The UX profession is dripping in jargon, from customer journey mapping to heuristic reviews. But unfortunately, these are the terms that we seem happy to use in front of our clients who don't know sector-specific jargon. Using this kind of terminology is so easy to do and in many ways completely understandable. It's a useful shortcut. However, it can make people feel stupid. It can reduce their comprehension and, when they're reading online, slow them down considerably. The irony of jargon is that even if people know the term, it makes the copy feel harder to read and, as a result, feels less trustworthy. Furthermore, it makes people feel like you're trying to sound superior to them or trying to trick them in some way. So whatever your audience, I would strongly encourage you to avoid jargon wherever possible, and when you do use it, make sure you explain what it means or at least link to somewhere that does.